Hi everyone, it's Nancy, and this video is basically what you see on my desk. It's everything that I'm going to explain to Josie that I sent her. She's asking me some questions about things, and so I just thought it would be easier to do a video and show you. And yes, Josie, this is a stencil. It is a dragonfly stencil. And I did it on the video where I did the jelly plate on my homemade jelly plate. This was one of the stencils I used. And you oohed and awed over how beautiful that was. And so I decided I would send you the paper because you loved it so much. There's the dragonfly one, and then this is the butterfly one that I used. And I think these are TCW. Is that the I think these are the, I don't remember. Anyway, it's TCW 206. And I don't know if this one has a name. Crafter's Workshop is what these are. That's what these came from. Okay, then you asked me questions about the fun foam. Now, this is the thick foam. It's the thick side. So what I do with this is I sent you all these little texture things. I cut pieces of them out and glue them to the thick foam and then use them as stamps. Okay? All those fun pieces that I sent you, that's what these are. These are to make marks, whatever. This one I love the best. You'll love this one. This is like it comes out like a screen. I love that one. I love them all, but these are the textures, and I just cut them out what I wanted and then glued them to the fun foam with the Aleene's Tacky Glue is what I did here. And you can see this whole basket's full of foam stamps because I just love them. They're my favorite now. Now these are the sticky back that I sent you, a whole baggie full of those flowers. You pull off the back and they are sticky back. And I put them on the thick foam. The thick foam comes in black and white, and they didn't have any black, so I just bought all the white that they had. And yeah, they make great stamps. You will love them. So this is my whole box of stamps. I made this out of the sticky back. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to show you. Remember these when I did the jelly plate and I told you that I made these stamps? Well, guess what? This is the sticky back, and I cut all these out. Now we over here get sheets like this that you can punch out that are already sticky back. If you want some of these that you want to punch out and make or cut out, I can send you some of these, Josie. No problem whatsoever. You can get the sticky back. I get these real cheap at Walmart. Really cheap. And then you can make your own stamps, and I made them as big as my jelly plate so I could put the whole thing on there. This is one of those sheets, and if you want more of the thick sheets, just let me know and I'll get you a pack ready and mail it to you. Now see, these are the sticky back ones that I sent you, some in that baggie. That's what this is made from. And this goes right on. What you do with these is you stick them on your jelly with the paint on, and you just kind of rub them, just jiggle a little bit and then pull them straight up, and it pulls the paint up, and then you can jelly print with them, okay? So these are all sticky back pieces. I should have put some of these in your package. I realized that I had so many of them. But I'll get you some and I'll mail you some more. Now that's the foam stuff. That's all the foamy stuff. And I sent you pieces so you could cut out what you wanted to make your own stamps. I think I sent you pretty big pieces of what I saw in the video. Pretty big pieces of this. Okay, while I'm doing this, I'm kind of watching the video on my iPad to see what you're asking questions about. Okay. So I'm gonna, oh, the pamphlets. The train pamphlets. I took my kids when they came last summer. See, I have my iPad here. I have you up.
I think it is. Like, I'm not sure what PA is.
PA is Pennsylvania. But these pamphlets came from the train station. I heard on the news it's a beautiful train station, and they have lots of museums, and oh, they've just turned it beautiful. It's beautiful, and they have these little bitty tiles, itty bitty tiles that they've made murals on the wall with, and they brought these tiles one by one in from Kentucky, and they put them up on these walls, and the walls are curved, so oh, it's just gorgeous in there. And they've got all kinds. When we went there, they were having a museum on Princess Di's clothing, on her wedding dress and everything. I wanted so bad. I just didn't have the money to take them all through there. Your video keeps coming on. I keep pausing it because it keeps coming on the iPad while I'm talking. But it's where the trains used to come in here all the time, and of course, they've closed. Amtrak still comes through. But, they just don't have the trains like they used to. But we took the kids up on the 3rd floor where the windows, you could look out on all the trains out there, and it showed the switchboard and had the big bell that you could ring. But anyway, they had all these pamphlets on this, where they stick pamphlets in these little things on the side of the, I don't know. You know what I mean. And we just grabbed a bunch of pamphlets. I thought, I can use these. And so I thought the people would probably be interested in some of the things that go on around here. Pennsylvania's not too far from us, but, it just showed a bunch of, so I just gathered a bunch of them up. I didn't even go through them. I just gathered some up. I have a ton of them. We all got a big folder full of these pamphlets. I thought if nothing else, I could make journals with them. But anyway, that's what that is. Those are just some pamphlets about what goes on around here, and it's mostly about the train. And I heard on the news that they're thinking about tearing this Icon train station down. And I just will cry if they do. I don't know why. They just want the property for something else, but the train station is just gorgeous. It's one of the many depots that are left in the world. They've all gone to these little bus stop depots that you get on to catch the train, which I think is just horrible. I loved going in the depot and sitting in the depot and waiting for a train to come. My dad used to work for the railroad, so I'm in love with trains, and I rode trains all the time that I was growing up. But anyway, that's why you got the pamphlets. Now, I am not sure what you are thinking is chipboard, because this is chipboard. And this is what I probably didn't send you any because it's this is medium chipboard. And this is what we use. See, there's the opposite grain, and there's the grain that you cut it on. This is what we used for book covers when I was in scrapbooking. And we made books, and we made boxes out of chipboard. But I don't think I sent you any. What I sent you probably was cardstock. I don't think, unless it got slipped in with some papers, I don't think it's chipboard. I think it's cardstock weight. Now, you were asking about, these are textured papers. And what they were is, if you put silks on these or paint on these, the wood grain comes out and they're really, really pretty. But these are cardstock weight. These are not chipboard weight. These are cardstock weight. I just thought maybe you would enjoy a couple of these. I have a ton of these, and so I just thought I'd share. Now, another thing you were asking about was the pieces of paper. I have this, it's Graphic 45, A Lady's Diary. And there's double pieces of paper, and I just tore out papers and sent you what was doubles in here. And I kept some for myself because I might want some of these cutouts of these ladies. And so I was stingy and didn't send you the whole 8x8 pad. The other 8x8 pad is a calendar. If you'll look, each one of those sheets on there is a different month. And then on the coordinating side of it is the little pieces that go with that month. So I don't know what you can make with it. You can make cards with it or whatever you want to do with it. I had big 12 by 12 sheets of these papers, and then I got the 8 by 8s, and then I quit doing paperwork anymore. So that's what they are. They're just sitting around. Now, these are what I sent you. Oh, look, they fell all out. These come in a big old thing like this, and there's way too many for me to ever use. But these are what I sent you in that baggie, and they're sticky back foam. And that's what I made my stamps with. You can do whatever you want with them, but this is what I put on the thick stamps to make my stamps with. And I don't know what I'm ever going to do with all these rest of these. I'll just have to send them out in Happy Mail to people, because I'm never going to use all these. I doubt it. Anyway, I spilled them all over. Okay. So that's that. That's what they come in over here. And you can get them in bags. They didn't have any bags, little smaller bags of it. That's why I bought this big, oh, huge thing. That's me, you know. Now, for the fine line writers, now I just got this out to show you, Josie, that these pieces of foam come, these texture foams. Now, I didn't buy the ones that you've seen people have that are in hearts, and these are all my scraps, that are in shapes. I bought the whole sheet, and then I cut off what I wanted. And these are, and I put them on the thick foam with Aleene's tacky glue. That's what I used. And all these are textures. All these you can use on your jelly plate. You can use them to stamp with. They're just really fun. Fun, fun. This one I love. It makes a really funky mark. So that's all of those. And these I save. These are the ends I cut off when the stamp doesn't fit on there. And these are fun because they're a fun little shape on the bottom that you can stamp with. You know, so I save all these little pieces. I don't know why I do that, because one is enough. But you never know, you might lose it and you might need another one, so you gotta have them all. Gotta keep them all. I try to keep them contained because, you know, this is great stuff for Belle to chew. Great stuff. So that's that. Okay. Now, the paper that you thought was silks, that was Luminar paint. The Luminar paint. And I had just bought it, so I was testing it out, and I just took what was mixed media paper, and I just put some on the top, different colors on the top, and I scraped it with a card, and just scraped the paint and then let it dry. And I just thought, well, Josie would love those, so that's why you got those, Josie. I have my little thing I bought for $1 at Target. My little container here that has all my fine line writers in it. And I'll explain those to you, Josie. This kind of fine line writer, you have to cut the tip off with scissors. I could not, if you can get a nail in there or a small needle, I could not. This plastic was just too hard. I could not, my fingers wouldn't push it in. To make a finer line, but this is, I have to shake it up. You want to thin your paint out. That's what I wanted to tell you. But if you can get, see this writes like this. If you can get a finer point than that, you are great. Because I couldn't do it. Okay, now this is the Aleene's tacky glue that I use to glue those pieces of foam together. Now, there's two different fine line writers. The ones I sent you are 18 gauge, and the ones that I have, the other ones are fine tip. These are standard tip and these are fine tip. These are 20 gauge. Now, when you put your paint in there, you're going to have to want to thin it out with airbrush medium. I didn't dare send you any of this liquid in your package. I don't know how to send liquids overseas. I didn't know if they'd take it with liquids. So I did not send you any of this. But this is what you need to thin it out. I don't know for sure if glaze would work. I know some people use, when they use the golden paints, they'll paint and thin it with some glaze on the side. I am not sure if glaze will clog up the hole. I'm not sure about the glaze, but I know you can thin it out with airbrush medium. Now, the problem is when you have tubes of paint, like we all have, it's a little difficult to get them in the bottles. But if you'll be patient and pour your paint in, and it's thick and so it wants to stick, but then I just get a skewer, you know, a skewer, and I poke it down with that. Then I squeeze my bottle this way, and then I'll squeeze it this way, and it'll pop and it'll go down. Okay? This needs to be cleaned off. So anyway, that is how you get the paint in. So then I'll put so much paint in, and then, oh gosh, I don't know what the ratio is, Josie. I really don't. You just kind of have to play with it. But I'll put the paint in, and then I'll put the airbrush medium in. And sometimes with this thicker paint, now if you're using cheaper paints that are in bottles that are thinner, they work better in these well, they go in better. They don't, can't say they work better, they just go in better. But anyway, then I'll put, maybe that much paint. Can you see maybe that much paint in there? And then I'll fill it up with the airbrush medium. airbrush medium, and stir it up with the skewer a little bit to get all the paint down from the corners. Now, if you have beads or BBs, which I don't have, but if you're going to get BBs, you need to get the coated BBs. Because if you don't get the coated BBs, they will rust in your paint and cause it to be yucky colors. It'll turn it bad. So then I'll put the, and every time you use it, it's going to separate. It's going to separate your two things, and so you just need to really shake it up. Shake, 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 shake. It's good for the arms under here to get rid of their flabbies. You know, just shake, shake, shake. Now this is a 20 gauge, and I couldn't get the 20 gauges from the guy that I got the fine line writers from. I got them for 2 in a pack for $5 off of Amazon, but they didn't have any more of the fine tip. So I got the 18 gauge, which is not bad, but this is the fine tip. So you can see how much finer that is when that comes out. And you can write with it, you know, see? See how you can write with it? Can you see that? Do I need to bring you in closer? Let me see if I can get you closer. Hang on.